Good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's session of Roznama. Now, since Saturday, a lot of things happened in India, and the most important one that actually happened was the turnover of government in West Bengal. The other states were fine in the sense that even if the BJP did come, did not come, it wouldn't be as celebratory as it has been for West Bengal. All right. Why now? That this is the first time that the BJP government has formed a government in West Bengal. Bengal, since always has been a communist stronghold state, it has had the CPI in power, and then the communist upheaval resulted in eventually giving way to TMC, which also had a communist outlook, but it was not as rigid as the CPI. And now even TMC has been, the electoral verdict has removed TMC from power, and now we have the BJP that has formed government in Bengal. All right. So quickly, Congress. Now elections took place not only in West Bengal but also took place in Kerala, took place in Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, and Assam. All right. So we had one union territory undergoing elections and 4 states in India undergoing elections. All right. So and BJP has formed governments in Assam, in West Bengal, and in Puducherry. All right. One state, Tamil Nadu, has seen the rise of a film star, a first-time politician who is almost in a majority and is almost set to become the chief minister of the state. All right. So the party is TVK, and it is led by Vijay, who's also a South Indian movie star. All right. Now he has, and because there are very close ties, the results have been very close cut, due to which not a very clear majority for TVK. But then TVK has, called for alliances with other parties so that it can have a clear cut majority and establish a safe government in Tamil Nadu. All right. So as of now, TVK has sought support from the Congress, and the Congress had offered support to TVK, which with certain conditions, in the sense that they would not that TVK is not going to form alliances with the BJP or its allies. All right. Okay. Then we have the chief minister of West Bengal, who has gone into negligence. Gone into negligence here implies that she's in denial, that she's not lost the elections. And just after the election results were declared yesterday, she issued a statement saying that I'm not going to resign as the chief minister of West Bengal because I have not lost the election. All right. Now, whenever electoral verdicts come out, the results were out on the 4th of May, and on 7th of May, the new government has to take charge. It is tomorrow in West Bengal. Now, before the new government takes charge, the previous chief minister has to resign. All right. So the previous chief minister, Mamata Banerjee, is to resign, and now she's not resigning to make way for the next chief minister. Even if she does not resign, the governor can remove the chief minister, because this particular chief minister does not have a majority. And if this also does not work, then naturally the governor can recommend the president to invoke president's rule in West Bengal under Article 356, citing reasons of failure of constitutional machinery. All right. This is what is anticipated. And then now the front runner, or the sole, star campaigner of BJP in West Bengal was Suvendu Adhikari, and in all probability, he will be appointed as the next chief minister of Bengal. And Suvendu Adhikari was contesting the same seat that Mamata Banerjee was contesting, the Bhabanipur seat. Mamata Banerjee lost from the Bhabanipur seat, and he has won the election from the Bhabanipur seat. All right. So Suvendu Adhikari is in all probability going to become the next chief minister of Bengal. So the term of the present chief minister comes to an end tomorrow, and the swearing in ceremony will take place on May 9th. Okay. All right. Then coming back to the Iran-Israel wars, just keep in mind, you can keep this, that now the truce or the ceasefire between the US and Iran is almost a month old. And although we did see certain fresh attacks where the United States of America attacked and sank 6 small Iranian boats, also Iran retaliated by undertaking drone attacks on UAE. So amidst all of these attacks, yet the ceasefire holds, all right? And in this attack by the Iran on UAE, it was on an oil field where we also had certain Indian people who were working here. So 3 of our Indian workers have been injured in these attacks, which has been condemned by the Prime Minister. And this is for the first time that the Prime Minister has issued or undertaken any strong criticism, and such a strong criticism against Iran during the ongoing war. And also, this comes in the backdrop when the Prime Minister is set to visit UAE to meet his counterpart and also the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed there, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to further strengthen India-UAE ties. All right. Okay. Then also there was a report that has been submitted or has been brought up by the US intelligence, where they've said that in spite of all this attack that has actually taken place, very little damage has been seen with respect to Iran's nuclear program. And giving up on Iranian nuclear program has been one of the most critical agenda of the United States of America for undertaking this war. The US has perpetually had this as one of the key points to be achieved during this war. That is, US wanted to bring about a regime change in Iran, and also US wanted to do away with the Iranian ambitions, Iranian nuclear ambitions. So basically none of them have been met. And all right, then the next is that the cabinet has approved and is set to bring in a bill to increase the Supreme Court judges total strength from 34 to 38. All right. So as of now, the Supreme Court of India has the Supreme Court of India has a total strength of 34 judges, 1 Chief Justice plus 33 other judges. All right. This change was also brought in 2019 when Article 124 was amended along with the 1958 Judges Act. And with that amendment, the judges were increased from 30 to 33 now, plus the CJI, of course. Now they are saying that it will be increased from 34 to 38. And this is naturally a necessity because we have massive pendency of cases in the Indian Supreme Court, which also affects deliverance of justice. All right. So the same piece of news from the Hindu. So I can go through it. All right. Then the cabinet has also given notes to include Vande Mataram in the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act 1971. So you have to give due respect to Vande Mataram as the national song of India, like it is a compulsion for the national anthem, national flag, and other national symbols. And if not, then you could be detained under this particular act. All right. Also, 2 new chip plants have been given cabinet approval to be included, cabinet approval to undertake its installation. This chip plant approvals have been provided under the India Semiconductor Mission launched in 2021, where around 76,000 crore of rupees were aligned for this. We have 2 companies, the Crystal Matrix Limited and also the Suchi Semicon Private Limited. Both of them are going to be setting their semiconductor plants in Gujarat. All right. One is to be set in Dholera in Gujarat and the other would be in Surat in Gujarat. All right. Okay. Then now that West Bengal has a BJP government, Bangladesh has voiced concerns saying that India must also consider a river water agreement on the Teesta river water sharing. All right. So as of now, we have the 1996 Ganga Water Treaty, which is to be negotiated because this treaty was for a 30-year period and it is set to expire in 2026 because relations between India and Bangladesh were not very well till last year. Why? Because of the entire political upheaval in Bangladesh and India giving asylum to Sheikh Hasina, the ousted Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Due to that, the expiration of the treaty almost is to its term and no new negotiations could take place. However, with the coming in of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party under Tariq Rahman, they are showing positive, they are showing positive inclinations towards, undertaking a re-establishment of peaceful relations between India and Bangladesh. So the Ganga Water Treaty and its new renegotiation is on its agenda. And the second is that this Teesta Water Treaty, which has been in negotiation since 2011, was not being taken up simply because the Mamata Banerjee government was showing reservations. Now Bangladesh says that with the removal of TMC from West Bengal and coming in of BJP, they are anticipating that the Teesta water deal should also be considered for water sharing between India and Bangladesh. Then further, the Union Cabinet has yesterday cleared 2.55 lakh crores for MSMEs and for airlines. All right. Okay, then coming to the editorials for today. The first editorial is basically on how the democratic space is deteriorating, how the voice of the people is being subsided, etc. So with this particular election results, we also had a report known as the Varieties of Democratic Institute 2026 report, where India has been classified as an electoral autocracy. That is, in spite of country being a democracy, there is yet a lot of power being vested in one particular country, one particular party. So I can go through that article. Then the next article is on India's solar energy capacity, that how India is doing well in terms of generating solar energy, and how solar energy as of now has been India's one major backbone amidst the entire fuel crisis that India is facing. However, in spite of increasing our solar capacity output, we still need to work when it comes to storage of solar energy, because as of now, what we're doing, the amount of solar energy we are generating, we're absolutely consuming it the very same day. No stock is being reserved. So we have to increase the storage capacities. Then we have seen in the past 1 week that a large number of INS stealth frigates have been inducted into the Navy under the 17A project and the 17B project of submarine aircraft and other stealth frigates. So how does this actually help strengthen India's defense capabilities? Then another article again talks about India's energy security amidst the conflicts, that what are the various steps that India has undertaken to tackle the entire problem of energy scarcity. Then the next article is on Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. He did come up now because he naturally is from West Bengal, and he was the inceptor of the preceding party or organization of BJP, that is Jan Sangh, and he incepted this organization from West Bengal. And when Jan Sangh made its debut, it won very meager seats in the Lok Sabha. 2 of them was from West Bengal. And then he basically says that it is the BJP has invoked Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and has basically said that with the BJP winning elections in West Bengal, finally Shyama Prasad Mukherjee would be pleased and satisfied that it is in his state that the BJP has formed or established a government again. All right. Then this article moves through the history of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and his entire contribution to the Indian political structure. So go through it. Do keep him in mind. All right. Then this wonderful article on Shashi Tharoor basically draws our attention to the fact that how the communist government, which once upon a time had a major stronghold in the Indian political system, is now actually losing seats in the is losing its character in the country's political dynamics, where people are now depending less on the leftist parties and more on the other parties. All right. Then again, an article on, just to give you a good understanding into that, amidst the West Asian crisis, amidst inflation, amidst price rise, how even the rupee is weakening and what economic implications does it have for India. Then I wanted to flag the term ecocide for you all. Do go through it. So this term was coined in 1970 by Professor Arthur V. Galston, and it refers to the worst harms caused to the environment by human actions, usually on a major scale or affecting a huge area. All right. And ecocide has been called on and off by the International Criminal Court to be included as one of major international crimes. All right, so do go through this article. Then quickly coming to the news in brief and terminology, we have Raghav Das Ghaya, and along with him we also have Kanika Mahajan, who have been conferred with the Malcolm Adhesia and Elizabeth Adhesia Awards of 2026. These awards are basically given to social scientists for their outstanding contributions to development studies. All right. Then again, I just wanted to flag the term amici query for you. Amici query is basically undertaken or invoked by the high courts to move out or beyond their jurisdiction to appoint people outside of judicial authorities to for certain specific cases. All right, so do go through it. Then again, just wanted to flag that Pirelli calendar 2027 will be dedicated to feature Raghu Rai's work. He was a very prominent Indian photographer. Okay, all right. Then China has also issued a statement over the widening US sanctions that US is implicating on Cuba. Cuba, which is already suffering from a major crisis, be it energy crisis, food crisis, economic crisis, etc. Further tightening of these sanctions by the United States of America is creating massive chaos and destruction in the Cuban economy. So that China has called as illegal. Okay, so that is all for today's newspaper analysis. I hope it is absolutely clear for you, and I'll see you all soon with the next one. Thank you, children.